My name is Beryl Sola. I'm your instructor for the online art class. I have several things I want to go over. All this information is on Blackboard under course documents, but I just thought it might be helpful for you to hear it from me as well, and just to attach a face to all the emails you'll be getting over the next couple of months. So this is in no particular order, but I hope I cover everything I want to. The first thing I want to talk about is how to be successful in the class, because I know that's your intention, is to be successful. So try and stay ahead of the class. And by that I mean don't fall behind. Do your reading early, do your paperwork early rather than wait till the last minute. Things will happen. I know everybody's taking the class online for a variety of reasons, and mostly because you're very busy. So if you can stay ahead of it, when things pop up, the kids, the boss, the dog, whatever, you won't fall behind and get into trouble. When you turn in your paperwork to me, your assignments, you'll be sending it directly to my email, bsola@pvcc.edu. All this is in the orientation document, so you don't have to write anything down. But I want you to make sure you label your files as you save them. Do save as, and put your name, your full name, the course number, and the section number. So it might be Art 101-35 or whatever, and then number whatever the assignment is, number 1, number 2, number 3. And that way I won't lose your assignments, because I have a lot of students and it's really easy to get the papers mixed up, and I have all kinds of systems in place to avoid doing that. But you'll save me time if you properly denote your files. And if you don't properly denote your files, I'll take 5 points off your paper, and then you will. So it'll work out for both of us. Read the assignments carefully. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, because I am happy to talk to you and explain. And what I try to do actually every semester, if I get a series of even one complaint about an assignment, I adjust it so that whatever problem I did have with it or the students had doesn't reoccur. So please let me know. Don't wonder or ask a friend. Ask me, because I'll let you know what's going on. I want you to succeed too. Make sure with your assignments that you pay attention to size requirement. It's usually a word requirement. The first thing I do when I open up your documents is I check the word count. So most of the assignments have a 750 word count. So if it's 729, your grade will be lowered by 1 whole letter grade. So sometimes a student will say, oh, well, there just wasn't enough information. That's impossible. There's so much you can write on any of the topics in your assignments. I know that you can hit 750. And if you want to hit more, that's fine. If you want to turn in bigger assignments, that's fine. Just do not turn in anything less. Try not to wait until the last minute to do your homework. And I'll tell you why. If you have any questions, or you're having problems with the writing, it's just a lot of writing, you may want to take the work to a writing tutor. We have free tutors on campus, and you can work with them online or work with them in person, and they'll go over your paper and they'll help you. I find it to be very helpful when I'm writing a paper to read it out loud to myself. I proofread the work, I use spell check, I use grammar check on my Word program, and then I read it out loud. And if it sounds kind of meandering or illogical or whatever, I rewrite it. I can't write a paper perfectly the first time out, so expect that you're going to have to make an effort to make your work legible. If I don't understand your point, it's not good. That doesn't work out for you or for me. So don't hesitate to use writing tutors, because they can be helpful. With all of the work I give you, a big thing I ask is for you not to editorialize. I'll ask you specific questions, and I want you to answer based on the readings that you do. You'll read in your textbook, maybe you'll do some online research, but the answer should be based on real information, not anecdotal stuff you hear from a friend or things you learned as a kid in elementary school or whatever. No editorializing. Don't tell me, you like this because it reminds you of a sunny day, or it makes you feel bad and you think it's stupid. all those, I'm interested that you have those ideas, but I want your papers to be academically based. You won't learn anything if you don't apply this new information. You don't want to rely on stuff you already know. You want to learn new stuff. We focus a lot in the beginning of the semester, in the first month, on elements and principles of design. It's so important because it's how we talk about art. It's a common language that we use. And we want to use the same language. We don't want to reinvent words that you think mean one thing and I think mean another. We want a common language, so we cut right to the chase and get right down to the content. So this is how important I think this material is. You have in your course documents just handouts with tons of with elements of design and principles of design. That's two different things. You can print them out. They're whole files, and then they're broken up into bite-sized pieces because students had trouble printing them out. You don't need to print them out, but if you choose to, you certainly can. The information is also in your textbook, which I ask you to read. And then I've done PowerPoint on both topics, and I've also done 2 videos, one where I analyze art using elements and principle of design, a couple of different pieces, and one where I just talk about the elements and principles of design, looking at about, I don't know, 30, 35 pieces of art, so that you can understand how it's applied. So take that very seriously. We front load all that information because that's how we talk about art the whole rest of the semester. And I'll expect that for you to use that language, and if you don't, it'll affect your grade. What else? As you're writing in your assignments, I'll always say be specific and give examples. So if you say, I know this doesn't mean anything to you now because we're right at the beginning of the course, but you say this piece is about color. I don't know what that means unless you tell me specifically. It's about color because it clearly uses primary color triad or something specific based on the information you've learned. You'll learn all the material, and then the goal is to apply it. In this class, I don't do any tests, and it's all writing or hands-on work because I don't think you can apply the knowledge through a test. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to really learn it. When I took art history classes, it was all memorize slides and slide identification and test. And at the end of the semester, I didn't learn anything. All I learned how to do was memorize slides. And I didn't understand how to analyze work or how to look at artwork. So that's what my goal is for you to be able to understand how to look at artwork, and then it improves your observation skills. You apply it to everything in your life, whether you're going to be an accountant or a space scientist or a teacher, whatever it is your end goal is. So, so as you're writing, be very specific, give specific examples. When you're writing about something and you use a term that is a specific art term that you've never heard before, but it's maybe in your reading and you're just going to go along and use it too without understanding it, I'm gonna wonder if you understand it, if you're just using that term or if you really understand what it means. So when I say be specific and give examples, so be specific and give examples. If you're using a word, say like juxtaposition, you read it in the book, you parrot it on the paper. If it doesn't appear to me that you understand it, it'll be a problem. So if there's a word you don't understand, look it up in your book or Google it. I'm the queen of Google. Sometimes when I'm reading your work, if you say something that I don't know to be true, I'll Google it. Because I know a lot about art history, but I don't know everything about art history, and some of you probably read a lot more carefully than I do, or remember things, have recently learned things that I've forgotten. So if you are not sure of something, absolutely Google it. Now I want to rant for, I hope, 2 minutes on the books. The textbooks are great, but sometimes they do some editorializing. So if the writers of the textbook say things that are editorial, that it's what they think, take it with a grain of salt, and you look at the artwork, you apply the elements and principles of design, and you tell me what you think. Because that's what I'm interested in. It's not what the writers think. I'm interested in you. I'm interested in you being able to analyze. And I'll give you a perfect example. Two things.